So now whenever I want to talk about a linear regression, whether it's a linear regression or a classification or other algorithm, so if I want to use a linear regression, there should be some kind of assumptions we need to understand, right? So here we are going to understand in this video what are all those assumptions and when I should be using a linear regression, right? So yes, let's discuss one by one the assumptions, underlying assumptions of a linear regression, right? So starting from first one, as you can see here, the regression model is linear in terms of a coefficient and error term. What does it mean? Say that, suppose say I have a investment and a sales, right? The regression model is linear in terms of a coefficient and error term. It means that as and when my independent data, in this case investment, is going to increase, at the same time, my sales should also increase, right? Suppose say I have a 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 40 lakh or 50 lakh. So as and when I increase my investment number, my sale should also increase. So if we find this kind of a relation, it means that it's a linear regression problem, right? So that is what we are going to make assumption based on this sentence or this point, right? So coefficients are basically how much I'm going to increase on a sales if I increase 1 unit in an investment access, right? So that is what it means. Fine. So the next point is the mean of the residual is zero, right? Residuals are basically, we're going to talk about residuals, and a very short term residual is nothing but error. So error in the sense there will be an actual value, there will be a predicted value, right? So there will be some difference. Suppose say actual value is suppose say 100, and if I have predicted 85, then the residual is going to be difference is 15. That is nothing but my residual, right? So it means that whenever I increase some data on x-axis and I'm going to fit a line something like this, and the points over here close to this line is basically error or a residual, right? So the mean of residual is zero, means if I take this error 1, here I have a error 2, here I have a error 3, like that I have a different errors, or I would say residuals. The mean of those all errors or all residual should be zero. But in real time, we don't get a actual zero. We get a very close to zero, right? Sometimes my residual is going to be high, but there are some techniques that I can apply to bring this high to a low residual, right? So we are going to talk about that. But the idea here is that whenever I want to apply a linear regression, I should be understanding that the mean of the residuals is zero or very less. So that is what this point states. Fine. The third point says the error terms are not correlated with each other, right? Error terms are not correlated with each other. It means that I have some error, suppose say in this box. So my first time in the first row, right, there are inputs and outputs, and I figured out one value that is a predicted value, and when I compared with the actual versus predicted, there will be some difference. The difference is basically a error term. Suppose say that difference is 2, and in the second row I do the same thing, then I will be getting some error, maybe 2.5, right? So I will be getting a different errors here. So it means that these errors, these errors should not be correlated to any of the independent data or any dependent data, right? It should not be like if I increase my investment, if I increase my investment, my error should not go high. If I decrease my investment, my error should not go down, right? There should not be any relation with the any kind of a variable, right? It should be independent. Error should be independent. So it shouldn't be following any kind of a pattern. So my error can be somewhere like this. So it means that they are not related with any of the variable, right? So if this kind of a error, I will be able to say that, okay, this is a linear regression problem, right? That is what this point says. Now, the independent variables are uncorrelated with the residual term. It's more or like this point only, right? So it means that if I going to invest more and more, right? My error should not keep increasing. My error should be independent, right? It should not be depending on the investment. So that is what this point says. And if we see that my error terms are not depending on any of the variables, then I can assume that it's a linear regression. We can use a linear regression, right? So that is what this point states. Fine. So then what is the next point here? The error terms have a constant variance, right? The error terms have a constant variance. It means that I shouldn't be getting a error zero point 0.5, then 0.8, 0.9, 1.0, 2.5. It shouldn't be increasing, right? It shouldn't be increased. It should have a all. It should be always have some kind of a variance. Like first time maybe I have a zero point 0.5, next time it may be 2.5, and next time it may be 0.8, right? Next time it may be 50, maybe. Next time it may be 0.25. So there is always a kind of a variance we should be seeing. We shouldn't follow any kind of a pattern, right? Constant variance, right? It should be keep on changing as and when I keep checking my prediction and the actual value, the difference should be keep on changing. So at the same time, we have to reduce that. That is altogether different issue. But the idea here is to understand if I want to apply a linear regression, I need to understand that the error terms have a constant variance. Every time it should be changing. It should not follow any kind of a pattern. That is what we can understand from this point. Fine. Then there should not be a multicollinearity. So we are going to talk more about a multicollinearity, but at this point, let's try to understand what exactly multicollinearity at high level, right? So multicollinearity means I have a feature one, I have a feature two, and I have a label here. So it's nothing but simply these are the independent variables and these are the dependent variables, right? If I say that age and experience, so it means that as and when my age is going to increase, at the same time, my experience is also going to increase, right? If I say 2 years, 2, 5, sorry, 25, 28, 30, right? If I am having a, like if a person is 25, having 25 age, then his experience, suppose say 3 years. If his age is 28, then his experience is going to be 6 years, right? 6 years. And as and when his age increases, his experience also going to increase. So in that case, what we can understand, it is basically a multicollinearity problem, right? So if you have more features are related to each other and depending on each other, then we have a multicollinearity. Then in that case, I have a problem using a linear regression. And there are some techniques that we can apply to reduce, or I would say to avoid this multicollinearity problem, right? But if all the features are related to each other, then I shouldn't be using a linear regression. That is what this point says, right? The error terms are normally distributed. The error terms are normally distributed. It means that maybe at the starting I will have a 100, and sometime I will have a 50, sometime I will have a 1, sometime I will have a 70. So if I have this kind of a error term, if I plot all these data points on a graph, it should kind of a looks like a normal distributed, right? It shouldn't be like a skewed, right? So it should be always normally distributed. In that case, my error terms have a constant variance. That's what these two guys are depending on, or I would say these two points are kind of interrelated. Right? If they are normally distributed, obviously it is going to have a constant variance. So if we are able to see this kind of points in my data set, right? So then maybe we can use some kind of EDAs, exploratory data analysis. With the help of that, if you're able to see this kind of if you're able to find all these points, then I can say that okay, we can use a linear regression, right? So yes, these are all basically simple assumptions of a linear regression. So yes, this is what this video is all about. So in the next video, we'll talk about residuals and other concepts. So yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care.